Morning. This is getting the thing because it's very, very wet actually. Wetness abounds. It's stormed in here. Anyway, look out the window or the gun rifle slot. See that water there? That's normally saltwater seawater. I've just tasted it and it's fresher than a daisy. That's fresh rainwater. And that's the first time I've ever seen that filled up with fresh water. Normally it's only seawater that comes through and gets onto there. That is absolutely amazing. Yes, Storm Denis. That's been slightly different angle today because I don't know. I think I like that angle actually. There's a bit of side light there, like yeah. Anyway, how are you all? This is just a quick one because I've got out after yesterday being hunkered down. Are you all right? I hope Storm. Well, all I don't know where you are watching this, but if you Storm Dennis, fuck me, that excuse my nose, but that had a kick in its arse, didn't it? Jesus. There was so much water and so much came down. You know, they normally, and the funny thing is we're down in the south of England, southwest, and on the coast, on as far west as England as you can get on the south, and we got battered by it. But the eye of the storm was up by Iceland, so it was a humongous storm, humongous, and God knows what Iceland took. And I don't know. I haven't seen the news about the rest of the country yet. I did see late last night, that there was floods and everything like that. But it's been a thing. I have no update on Avi. I'm going to try and get an update on Avi. But thank you for your positive comments on the last video on Avi. Yeah, and fingers crossed. We hope he gets well soon. There's people in the comments were putting sort of like the paranoid conspiracy theory. It does seem to me like the right wing at the moment, right wing. I mean, us lot that are not absolute commie, sort of like Extinction Rebellion wankers, are basically paranoid conspiracy theory, and a lot of people saying like, why is Avi sort of dying, getting a heart attack at this sort of time when he's a young fit man in his early 30s. Yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to find out more about that. Extinction Rebellion is still making arseholes of themselves, aren't they? But I still can't understand how they're still going in, and the mainstream media still are pushing this man-made global warming agenda when we are going in thing. And in the 17th century, just before the mini ice age, just before the mini ice age, as we went into the mini ice age, we had a winter of lots and lots of rain. And they noted about how much rain had come in and how it was a really sopping wet winter. And history repeating, just a case of history repeating. And after that we had we'll see what the summer's like and see what the things are. But the grand solar minimum, if you follow in it, the sun so far has been about 14 days without a sunspot. And that followed before that. I mean, it is really, really quiet, the sun at the moment. So it's cooling down. It's cooling down quite a lot, the sun at the moment. So we're going to cool down. And it's come to the point that even the Russian government have said, like, we're going to have to start thinking about this because it's going to get very cold. Because cold is a lot worse than hot. Cold is a lot worse than hot. Global warming isn't the big that they make it out to be. To be quite honest, it's global cooling that is the that they don't make it out to be. Cold kills, warm grows. Yeah, because I've said this before, and I think but during the Sumerian period, it was a warm period, and we had the Sumerian civilization. Gilgamesh and all that, with the Epic of Gilgamesh and all that lot. Well, Gilgamesh was probably, don't know whether he was pre-Sumerian or what, but they had the stories of the Epic of Gilgamesh in the Sumerian times, and you had the flower minimum. It was sort of like about 10,000 years ago, and they reckon that there was probably civilization before then, and that was the last time that we had a really, really sharp cooling period, because we were coming out of the previous ice age, or the previous ice thing, because we're in an ice age now. We are in an ice age now. We're not. It's this is a warm period between glaciation, and we were coming out of the glaciation quite nicely. Then we dropped back in for about 1,000 years, really quickly, into another glaciation thing, and it wasn't global, that one, because the southern hemisphere stayed warm, so there was something going on, and they don't know whether it's meteors or things like that up in north, but that they reckon could be the real reason why there's no woolly mammoths left, or large sort of like the really large mammals that all died out all of a sudden. They reckon that could be that cool period. It lasted from about 13,000 years ago to about 12,000 years ago, about 11,000 BC to 10,000 BC. After that, we sort of started warming up. We got the Sumerian warm period, and the Sumerian, and everything got good, and everybody started thinking, human beings started taking over, and then that went cold, and you had the collapse and all that lot, and then you had the Greek and the Egyptians and all those little periods in the sort of like the Bronze Age, and that was a warm period, and that lasted, and then you had the Bronze Age collapse about 1500 BC, and boom, that all disappeared, and that's Homer and all that lot. The period before that was all, and then the Romans came, and we had the Roman warm period. And when the Romans came to England, that was during one of the warm periods. They ventured north because it was warm. They still moaned about how cold it was actually up here, right? And then we had the Dark Ages after the Romans left, and believe it or not, that was a cold period. And then we had the medieval warm period, which is what all the climate people said, it wasn't global. Well, I'm sorry, it was global. And that medieval warm period is when all the fantastic churches and cathedrals and all that, the explosion of the sort of like Western civilization started in the northern hemisphere up here. And after that, we went in the mini ice age, which we all know, which is always in written history. We know that it became very, very cold. And if you look at the population drop with the plague and everything like that in Europe at the time, population didn't expand. Cold periods are bad. Warm periods are good. I don't know why they're trying to tell you the opposite. It's all this doomsayers and everything like that, But anyway, that's just my opinion, okay? And I'm pretty sure. And coronavirus, H1N1, and all these viruses that were going to be the end of humanity. Well, coronavirus, the paranoid conspiracy theories, is a man-made sort of like bioweapon. And I was reading last night on a thing called Zero Henge. They're quite, oh my God, it's all terrible, but it's quite worthwhile reading, because actually they got it right so far. They said apparently that even if you've had it and you've got it and it's gone, you ain't out the woods. It can come back, and if it comes back a second time, you're guaranteed to snuff it really, really quite quickly. So it gets a second bite of the apple. But doesn't seem to be spreading like wildfire outside of China, except on cruise ships. think that's about 300 now on that cruise ship have got it, like out of 3,000. So that's 10%. And they've all been locked in the room and everything like that. So don't go on a sea, do not go on a sea cruise. I'll find out about Avi today. I'll do some research what I can find out, and I will get back to you tomorrow, okay? Have a good day. Don't get blown away. And I will see you in another video. Cheers.